Information and Broadcasting Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood said BNP is out to sell the country to the global agents. That is why he called upon cultural activists to guard the country for the upcoming 100 days. The minister made the call while addressing a discussion as chief guest marking Martyr Sheikh Russell Day at the Jatiya Press Club today. Bangabandhu Sanskritik Jot organized it.
আজকে যে ফিলিস্তিনে পাখি শিকার করার মতো করে মানুষ শিকার করা হচ্ছে, মানবতার বিরুদ্ধে অপরাধ সংগঠিত হচ্ছে, সে নিয়ে একটি কথা নাই। আর তারেক জিয়া নির্দেশ দেয় যেটি এটি নিয়ে কোনো কথা বলার প্রয়োজন নাই। আপনারা সামাজিক যোগাযোগ মাধ্যমে নিশ্চয়ই লক্ষ্য করেছেন। অর্থাৎ বিশ্বমোড়লরা অখুশি হতে পারে, সেজন্য যারা একটি শব্দ উচ্চারণ করে না তারা যদি সুযোগ পায় নিজেদের স্বার্থে দেশটাকেই বিক্রি করে দিবে। সুতরাং এদের ব্যাপারে সতর্ক থাকতে হবে। আমি আওয়ামী লীগ নেতাকর্মীদেরও অনুরোধ জানাই, আপনাদের মাধ্যমে সাংস্কৃতিক কর্মীদেরও অনুরোধ জানাই, আগামী 100 দিন দেশটা পাহারা দিতে হবে। কারণ দেশটা বিশ্ববেনিয়াদের হাতে তুলে দিতে চাচ্ছে ওরা। ক্ষমতা পাহারা দিতে হবে না, ক্ষমতার পাহারাদার জনগণ, কিন্তু দেশটাকে পাহারা দিতে হবে।
Dr. Hassan Mahmood suggested that leaders of BNP work as politicians for interest of the country instead of being gangster of the party.
গলা উঁচু হলো, সারাক্ষণ মিথ্যা কথা বলল এবং যেটা বিশ্বাস করে না সেটা মুখে বলল এবং নিজের ইচ্ছার বিরুদ্ধে কথা বলল, তিনি ভদ্রলোক। সেই জন্য আমি সেই ভাষা ব্যবহার করতে চাই না। তাই ফখরুল সাহেবকে বলবো, অত উঁচু গলায় কথা বলবেন না। আপনার দল, আপনি এমপি হওয়ার পরও আপনাকে শপথ দিতে দেয় নাই। বেগম খালেদা জিয়া এবং তারেক জিয়া তারা চায় না আপনারা নির্বাচনে এসে ভালো ফল করুন কিংবা এমপি হন। সুতরাং ফখরুল সাহেবদের অনুরোধ জানাবো, তারেক রহমান এবং বেগম খালেদা জিয়ার লাঠিয়াল বাহিনীর সর্দার হিসাবে কাজ করবেন না, রাজনীতিবিদ হিসাবে কাজ করুন এবং দেশের স্বার্থে কাজ করুন, তাহলে দেশ উপকৃত হবে।
Executive President of Bangabandhu Sanskritik Jot Rafiqul Alam presided over the function. Awami League leader Balram Poddar and General Secretary of Sanskritik Jot Arun Sarkar Rana also spoke on the occasion. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will inaugurate the main program of the Sheikh Russell Day at the Bangabandhu International Conference Center tomorrow morning. State Minister for ICT Junaid Ahmed Polok said this at a press conference at ICT Directorate in the capital's Agargaon this morning. Junaid Ahmed Polok said Prime Minister will also distribute the Sheikh Russell Award 2023 and Smart Bangladesh Award 2023 at the program. ICT Division Secretary Mohammad Shamsul Arifin chaired the press meeting, while Director General of ICT Directorate Mustafa Kamal and Organizing Secretary of Sheikh Russell National Children and Juvenile Association Barrister Jahangir Hussain Roni also addressed the press conference. Now, international news. At least 71 people have been killed in an overnight bombardment, Ministry of Health officials in Gaza say. The heaviest bombardments occurred in 3 areas in the south of Gaza, Khan Yunus, Rafah and Deir el-Balah, where Israel had ordered civilians to seek refuge. A medical source said hundreds were also wounded during the bombardments, which hit homes in Rafah and Khan Yunus. So far, at least 2,900 Palestinians have been killed since Israeli air raids began. The Israeli military said some 1,400 people have been killed in Israel since 7 October. US President Joe Biden will visit Israel on Wednesday to hear about its plans for a ground offensive against Hamas in Gaza. Biden will also discuss how Israel will conduct its operations in a way that minimizes civilian casualties, the US says. Meanwhile, in its strongest warning yet, Iran, which backs Hamas, says it could take preemptive action against Israel in the coming hours. It is thought this would involve the Iranian-backed Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, which has been exchanging fire with Israel in recent days. Iran's foreign minister said Israel will not be allowed to act in Gaza Strip without consequences. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin told Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a phone call on Monday that Russia is ready to help end the confrontation between Israel and the Palestinians, the Kremlin said. Vladimir Putin informed Netanyahu about the steps Russia is taking to help normalize the situation, prevent further escalation of violence and prevent a humanitarian catastrophe in the Gaza Strip, the Kremlin said. Earlier on Monday, Putin discussed the crisis with the leaders of Iran, Egypt, Syria and the Palestinian Authority and said any form of violence against civilians was unacceptable, the Kremlin said. The UN Security Council on Monday rejected a Russian resolution condemning spiraling violence in the Middle East, with delegations refusing to back a motion that did not single out Hamas for its surprise attack on Israel. The Council huddled as Israel raided for an expected ground assault on the Gaza Strip after air and artillery strikes that officials say have killed at least 2,750 people. Just 4 countries voted with Russia on its proposed text. 4 others, including the US, voted against, while 6 abstained. A second text proposed by Brazil with unequivocal language condemning the Islamist group appeared to have broader support and was expected to come to the vote on Tuesday evening, diplomats said. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in China today to meet his dear friend Xi Jinping, bolstering their relationship at a summit. China this week welcomes representatives of 130 countries for a forum of President Xi's landmark project, the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, that Beijing is using to extend its global influence. Putin is at the top of the invitation list, with the Russian leader on his first trip to a major global power since the Ukraine invasion threw his regime into international isolation. The Kremlin said Russian President and Xi Jinping would meet tomorrow on the sidelines of the BRI forum. During the talks, special attention will be paid to international and regional issues. Now, some weather news. Now, some other international news in brief. In the wake of Hamas' deadly attacks on Israel, former President Donald Trump is turning to a strategy he employed during the 2016 campaign of using terror abroad and fears of future attacks on American soil to push for hardline immigration policies in the United States. Russia said Monday it was suspending all Japanese seafood imports, mirroring a recent move by China over Tokyo's release of wastewater from the crippled Fukushima nuclear plant. The right-wing populist Law and Justice Party is on course to win most seats in Poland's general election, an exit poll suggests, but is unlikely to secure the 3rd term in office. One of Iran's most prominent film directors, Daryush Meherji, has been found dead alongside his wife with stab injuries in their home near the capital, Tehran. Zero-emission cars are soaring in popularity, but running an electric vehicle is next to impossible in places with limited charging infrastructure. Stella Terra could change that. The khaki green SUV uses solar panels on its sloping roof to charge its electric battery, meaning it can drive long distances powered entirely by the sun. No improvement was seen in the dengue situation prevailing across the country as 9 died during last 24 hours. A press release of the Director General of Health Services said among dead 4 were in Dhaka and 5 were outside Dhaka. 2,609 dengue patients were admitted to different hospitals across the country during the last 24 hours. Among them, 561 dengue patients were hospitalized in Dhaka city and 2,048 patients outside Dhaka. Now some weather news. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said weather may remain mainly dry with temporary partly cloudy sky over the country. Day and night temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country, said the Met Office. Now news and sports. Bangladesh defeated Maldives by 2-1 in the return leg of the pre-qualifiers of the FIFA World Cup 2026 and qualified for the main stage of qualifiers. Bangladesh took the lead in the 11th minute of the match through Rakib Hussain at Bosundhara Kings Arena. However, Maldives equaled in the 36th minute through Aisam Ibrahim. In the 46th minute, Faisal Ahmed Fahim scored the second goal for Bangladesh. Bangladesh became a 10-man team in the 59th minute, while Mohammad Sohail Rana left the field after seeing a red card. Maldives also became a 10-man team when Ahnaf Rashid left the field after seeing a red card in added time of the match. South Africa are now batting against the Netherlands to chase the victory target of 246 runs in the ICC ODI World Cup in Dharmshala. South Africa scored 123 runs for 6 wickets in 27 overs when report last came in. Netherlands batted first and scored 245 runs for 8 in 43 overs. Scott Edwards was unbeaten on 78 runs for the Dutch. The match was reduced to 43 overs per side due to the rain. Now to end the bulletin, headlines once again. Awami League government